Welcome again to this little music podcast. Today I'm going to be telling you about another one of my very favorite rock bands. And it's so brutally underrated and misunderstood, and if you clicked on this, you already know what it is. It's Mr. Big. Made up of singer Eric Martin, guitarist Paul Gilbert, bassist Billy Sheehan, and drummer Pat Torpey. And I know I've said this about other bands and musicians before, about them being underrated and misunderstood, but I have a good reason for these guys. You might not believe me when I say that because it's not a very well-known band, at least not here in America, sadly. Mr. Big was actually very big in Japan in the 90s especially, and I applaud Japan's great taste in music. But despite how famous they were there, they still should have totally gotten more recognition here in the United States for sure, because they had some crazy good songs, and they are very insanely skilled. All of them. And I'm not entirely sure why we couldn't recognize something this amazing in America, but it's quite sad. But they actually did have one hit that was crazy huge even here in America that I'm sure you know. I don't know, this song may just have been one of the first songs I ever knew. I feel like this is one I have always known. It's one of those that I literally don't remember ever not knowing it, and that's how big it is. It wasn't even released in my lifetime, yet I've grown up listening to this song a lot. It's very well known. And I bet you would know it, or at least recognize it, no matter your age. So here it is. It's called To Be With You.
So come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to show you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you'll feel it too. Feel it too. Waited on a line of waited on a line just to be the next to be with you.
That's one of those songs that I weirdly fondly remember hearing a lot at the grocery store when I went with my mom when I was like really little. So that's what it makes me think of, which I've thought is kind of weird, and I'm wondering if you have any weird memories of songs like that too, or is that just me? Do you have a memory of first ever hearing this song, or are you like me feeling like you've known this song forever, or is this the first time you've ever heard this song? I don't know. Okay, now before I go any further, I have to be very clear. True, this song is a ballad, but this band is not a ballad band. It is a hard rock band. This is something pretty unfortunate that happens to many rock bands in America, where they become known for only their ballads and get seen as ballad bands. For example, bands like Night Ranger, Cinderella, and Extreme are all very good examples of this. Night Ranger is a rock band that became super famous for the song Sister Christian.
Sister Christian, oh, the time has come, and you know that you're the only one to say, okay.
Cinderella became super famous for Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. And Extreme is a rock band that became famous for More Than Words.
You feel more than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know.
Yet all of these bands are actually very loud, hard, and fast rock bands, just like Mr. Big is. And I could go on and on about these bands, but I'll save that for another episode. Well, this song, To Be With You, no doubt is an amazing song, as it was number 1 on the top Billboard Hot 100 list in 15 countries. But it definitely should not overshadow some of their other masterpieces, even ones that came off of the same album, Lean Into It, that was released in 1991 and got to number 15 on the Billboard 200 chart.
Everything you're looking for, you can find it
So there's the first song off of their Lean Into It album. Yeah, that's also their electric drill song. During that song in their concerts, Billy Sheehan and Paul Gilbert would play using electric drills. And let me rewind a little bit to explain how this band got started. Each band member already had quite a bit of experience playing in bands and performing on stage. For example, the singer Eric Martin started in his band 415 way back in 1976, before the band got signed to Elektra Records and changed their name to the Eric Martin Band in 1983. They had one album and broke up, so Eric Martin decided to release a solo album in 1985. And yes, it is very 80s. Here's a clip from his 1985 album.
Secrets in the dark. I keep running to you in the night. Keeping secrets in the dark. And I know in my heart it's not right. Love the secret in the dark.
So 80s, it's great. While he was doing that, Paul Gilbert was doing something entirely different. The virtuosic guitarist started learning the guitar when he was only 5 years old and became so good that by the time he turned 15, he had done touring around clubs and was mentioned in Guitar Player magazine. Guys, only 15. That's insane. So he ended up going to a guitar school and then was invited to teach there once he graduated, which he did until he formed a band that ended up being called Racer X in 1986. And they also released a couple albums too. This song from their first album gives me some major Judas Priest vibes. Is that just me? Here it is. Well, Pat Torpey, the drummer, he's ridiculously awesome too. He's a cool dude. I love that what made him interested in learning the drums was when he saw a drummer playing in a polka band that was playing at a picnic he went to. He played the drums for, like, everyone, it seems like. On tour, he played drums for John Parr, Belinda Carlisle, Robert Plant, The Knack, and others too. But he was also the drummer for musicians who performed on music TV shows, especially American Bandstand and Solid Gold. It was his work touring with Belinda Carlisle and also Tina Turner that caught the others' attention to have him in their new band. Okay, finally, Billy Sheehan, the bassist. He's been claimed as one of the best bassists by multiple sources. He's actually frequently considered the Eddie Van Halen of the bass, because about the same time as Eddie Van Halen popularized his famous tapping technique, Sheehan was also doing the same thing on his bass. Actually, he and Eric Martin seemed to have a lot of connections with Van Halen. Eric got an audition to be the singer for Van Halen at one point, but decided not to, and Billy Sheehan started out with very much of a Van Halen sound when he was part of his band Talus. He was also invited to take Michael Anthony's place in Van Halen, but he also refused. Instead, he played and even wrote songs for Van Halen's first lead singer, David Lee Roth's solo career in 19. In 1988, David Lee Roth wanted Billy to tone it down, so Sheehan decided to leave and create his own band, and that's when they started Mr. Big. Paul Gilbert explained the story of how it happened.
One day Billy called me up and first he just said, "Hey, want to get together and jam sometime?" I'm like, "Wow, jam with Billy Sheehan, this is going to be great." And then the next day he said, well, actually, this is about a band I'm thinking about putting together. And he said, I've got the singer named Eric Martin. I was like, I know Eric Martin because I'd bought Eric Martin's solo albums and I thought his singing was fantastic. And so, we got together and we started, writing some songs.
So Mr. Big is amazing. All of it. Everything about it. All band members were amazing singers as well, like Billy singing in this song.
How misguided woman knows my name. Ain't got nobody else to blame. I got a girl back home. She's waiting all alone.
And they've done some great covers too, such as Wild World, that also became a pretty big hit.
Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. I always remember you like a child girl.
They had a few albums, none quite as famous as their second album, Lean Into It, but still undeniably fantastic. After a while, they decided to break up, which allowed each of them to work on their solo careers for a while. Pat Torpey released a few solo albums. Paul Gilbert reunited with Racer X for a while. Billy Sheehan released his own solo album, and Eric Martin also released two, including one in 2009 that interestingly had many unexpected covers of songs by artists like Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, and the Bangles.
Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Is this burning an eternal flame? I believe.
What a cool dude, and a weird dude, but you gotta love it. Well, they finally got back together in 2009 and released some more albums. They stayed together for quite a while, but in 2014, Pat Torpey was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and he even continued working with the band, playing and singing for some of the songs, and he worked to teach his unique drumming style to another drummer for the band, up until early 2018 when he died. The band is fantastic and still is incredible today, working on their own projects and doing their own things. I just love them. Thank you for listening. Please enjoy this one last clip of their amazingness. Talk to you later. Bye.
Watch it touch me deep inside. Something snaps inside my mind. When I feel it coming, ain't no sense in running. I'm addicted to that rush. Every time we touch, never get enough. 'Cause I'm addicted to that rush.